The town of Eldershade had always been small, quiet, and strange. Located deep in the forest and surrounded by fog-covered hills, it wasn't marked on most maps. The only thing anyone really knew it for was Lake Mirewood, a wide, glassy body of water that reflected the sky so perfectly it looked like a mirror. But no one swam in it. No one fished from it. And no one stayed near the lake after dark. Locals said it was cursed. Cassie Wren, a 24-year-old writer and documentarian, didn't believe in curses. She had come to Eldershade with a mission to uncover the truth behind the bizarre rumors surrounding the lake and its chilling history. According to her research, several people had gone missing near the lake over the last 70 years. All of them vanished without a trace, no bodies, no evidence, just silence. The stories were always the same. One day they were there, and the next gone. Cassie had rented a small wooden cabin just outside the town, only a few minutes' walk from the lake. It was quiet, almost too quiet. The wind didn't rustle the trees, the animals didn't make sounds at night. It was as if nature itself held its breath near Mirewood. Her first 3 days were uneventful. Cassie interviewed locals, filmed the lake from different angles, and set up motion-triggered cameras. Most villagers refused to talk. Those who did gave her the same warning: don't go near the lake when it sings. She had laughed the first time she heard it. A singing lake? What did that even mean? But on the 4th night, Cassie heard it. A low, humming sound, soft, distant, yet strangely melodic, seeped through her cabin walls. It was like a choir singing in slow motion underwater. She stepped outside with her camera. The sound grew louder near the lake. And there in the moonlight, something shimmered beneath the surface. It wasn't a fish or a shadow. It was a door. At the center of the lake, visible only in moonlight, was the outline of a massive, ancient door beneath the water. Cassie froze. Her instinct told her to run, but her curiosity pulled her forward. She waded into the freezing lake, camera in hand, filming everything. The water was deeper than she expected, but she kept going. As she reached waist deep, the singing grew louder, almost unbearable. The door beneath the surface glowed faintly, and then it opened.
Cassie gasped.
A ripple passed through the lake, shaking the trees. Her camera glitched. Her vision blurred. She stumbled backward, out of the water, coughing and shivering. The door had vanished. But when she looked at her footage, the door was still there.
Clear. Real.
Glowing. She uploaded the footage to her laptop, heart racing. This was bigger than she had imagined. Proof of something ancient, something alive, beneath Lake Mirewood. But when she tried to send the footage online, her internet died.
Her screen went black.
And then a message appeared. Some doors should never be seen. She stared at it in disbelief. Her files were wiped. Her external hard drive smoked. She had backups on SD cards, but they were also corrupted. She knew then, this wasn't just a ghost story. It was a warning. The next day, she found deep scratches on her cabin door. And inside, muddy footprints. Human but impossibly large. Someone or something had been watching her. Cassie decided to leave. She packed her bags and ran to the town's bus stop. But the only road out was blocked. A tree had fallen across it, its roots unnaturally torn. She tried to call for help. No signal. And when she returned to her cabin, the lake had risen. It now touched her doorstep. That night, she dreamt of drowning. She was underwater, unable to move, staring at the door. Behind it, she heard whispers. Voices calling her name, begging her to open it. And a voice deeper than the others. Cassie, we've been waiting. She woke up choking, her bedsheets soaked. Her window was open, even though she had locked it. Outside, standing at the edge of the lake, was a figure.
Tall, thin, drenched.
It turned slowly and vanished into the water. Cassie screamed. The next morning, she found an old book in the cabin, hidden under a floorboard. Its cover was cracked, pages yellowed and water-stained. The title, The Door Beneath the Lake. It was a journal, written in 1952 by a man named Thomas Reed, a former resident of Eldershade who had lived in this very cabin. His final entry read, "I saw the door. I heard the song. It calls to those who carry the blood. It wants to open, and it wants me to open it. But I know the truth now. It's not a door, it's a mouth." Cassie's blood ran cold. She flipped through the pages, finding sketches of the door, accounts of missing people, and rituals meant to seal it. But the last page was torn out. She had no idea how to stop it now. And that night, the lake began to sing again. Cassie didn't sleep the night the lake sang again. She sat by the window with the old journal in her lap and a kitchen knife in her hand. Outside, fog rolled across the water like living skin. The cabin creaked and groaned with every gust of wind, but it was the voice in her mind that truly unsettled her. "We've waited, Cassie. Just open the door." It wasn't a hallucination. She was certain now. Something beneath Lake Mirewood was real, ancient, sentient, and it wanted her. By morning, the lake had receded. Cassie stepped outside to find dozens of dead fish scattered across the shore, eyes wide, mouths open in frozen screams. The trees around the water were dead, leaves blackened and crisp like they'd burned from the inside. Cassie flipped through Thomas Reed's journal again. One phrase returned again and again like a warning. It only needs one. One to open. One to feed. One to return. It wasn't trying to kill her. It was grooming her. That evening, Cassie visited the town again, desperate to speak with someone, anyone. She entered the general store, clutching the ruined journal, and approached the only old man who hadn't shied away from her interviews. Mr. Alwyn Creel, the town's unofficial historian, narrowed his eyes when she showed him the book. "You found Thomas Reed's journal?" he muttered. "Yes," she said. He knew what was under the lake. He nodded grimly. "It's not a lake." "Not really." Cassie frowned. "Then what is it?" Alwyn leaned in close. "It's a prison." According to Alwyn, centuries ago, a creature known as the One Who Whispers had fallen from the sky, or the stars, as the stories went. The elders of Eldershade called it a god of silence, banished for trying to devour entire realities by luring humans into opening it. A ritual had been performed long ago to seal it beneath the water. The lake was formed around it. The door wasn't made of stone, but of memory, sealed with blood from the descendants of the original ritual keepers. Cassie blinked. Descendants. Alwyn stared at her, suddenly wary. "Your last name is Wren, isn't it?" Cassie nodded. His expression hardened. "Then it's already calling you." Back at the cabin, Cassie found the final missing page from the journal tucked in her bag. She hadn't put it there. It read, "The last seal is the blood of the one who opens it. If she bleeds into the lake, it will rise again." Cassie's hand trembled. She had cut her hand that first night, when she touched the water. The blood had already been spilled. She looked out at the lake. It shimmered again. The door was back, and it was open. She ran to her camera gear, only to find it drowned in lake water. In the distance, thunder cracked, though the sky was clear. Cassie grabbed a flashlight, the knife, and the journal. She had one choice now: seal it again, or be consumed. She walked into the water. As she waded deeper, the temperature dropped. Her breath misted. Every cell in her body screamed to turn back. But the door loomed beneath the surface, glowing like a moonlit abyss. Its edges pulsed. Cassie dove. The moment she touched the door, reality shifted. She found herself no longer in the lake, but floating in a dark void. Stars flickered above her. Voices whispered all around, and in front of her stood a figure. Not a monster, not a ghost. Herself. But different, hollow eyes, cracked skin, a smile that did not belong. "I'm what you'll become when you open the door." Cassie shook her head. "I won't."
The voice laughed.
"You already did." The world twisted. The door exploded into light. And then Cassie was standing on the lake shore again, soaked, coughing, bleeding from her ears. It wasn't over. The water churned. Shapes moved beneath it. A long arm, boneless and dark as tar, reached out from the lake and touched her leg. Cassie screamed. The whispers grew deafening, but the journal burned in her hand. Its pages glowed. The final spell. She read it aloud. By my blood, I seal the gate. By my name, I bind the voice. By my will, I refuse the call. The lake turned black. The hand retreated, and the door slammed shut. Cassie awoke on the shore, covered in mud and blood. The lake was calm again,
Silent.
and at its center, no door, no shimmer, no voice, only stillness. 6 months later, Cassie uploaded a documentary titled The Door Beneath the Lake to her YouTube channel. It featured shaky footage, audio glitches, and heavy editing, but it told the truth. Only a few people believed her. Most called it fiction. But the locals of Eldershade never spoke of the lake again. And Cassie? She never returned. Though sometimes on cold nights, she still hears a whisper. One day, you'll open it again.